Hey guys, it's Amber and I'm getting ready to work on day 24, which is Christmas Eve. So I'm excited to play with this. I have a couple fun photos. So I have this photo here that I took of looking down at the tree as I was working on it, which I really love. I added some word art from Allie that's a couple years old. This says the night before Christmas. I think I want to add this vellum strip here. It says, they know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded with lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. So that's probably going to go layered right here. And I have this, craft heart that says come on Santa. I think I'm going to tuck that like kind of right in here into this spot or there, not sure. So that will be on the left hand side because I have to go on the back of day 23. And then for the right hand side, I had a vertical photo that was kind of fun of myself being like Santa's here when I was putting out the presents. So I'm going to use this Believe in Magic 3x8 card here. I've got my journaling printed out and ready to go. So I used the digital version that I have because I was an ambassador last year, so I got a bunch of digitals to set up my journaling. What I'm going to do is put a little Santa puffy guy right here. So I needed to make sure that my journaling was going to give me ample space to do that. So I'm going to be adding that on. And I'm going to be attaching that to this photo here. And so I'm going to use this Christmas Eve chipboard flag here from the Paisley Press chipboard set, this old chipboard number 24. And then as another heart, I think I'm going to use this Magic Made cardstock sticker here, like, and nestle that right into the 24. Just to give myself another little heart. I'm going to see if maybe I can tuck in a third one somewhere, not from this set, but from like something else in my stash. So then on the back of these two will be this photo of the tree and the lights and just like what our living room looked like. That's a turtle tank. I actually hate it that it's in photos, but I can't move it. It's really heavy. And our fireplace is like right here. So I still haven't printed out the fireplace photo yet. But this will be on the back side of this one when you turn the page. I was still debating if I should put this photo first and then put this one on the back side, but the coloring, like this one is brighter because it's like the whole room, there's a little bit more light. This one's a little bit darker and this one's a little bit darker. So I thought that these two would look better together than these two because this one's got a more bluish tone. And I thought that it was also just kind of like a fun intro. So that will be on the back. And then I'm working on, so a pocket page. Let's slide these over a bit. So my pocket page here, and I can actually go ahead and slide these in. I've got a photo of the kitty. She's hiding in her little present box, and there's like our little cat light up thing. I have another on the back. I'm going to put this into All a Good Night. I believe that's from the main kit because that's of course part of the Christmas thing. And I've got the ho 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 ha 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 he 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 card. I'm still deciding exactly what order these are going in. I'm not really sure yet. But it was just like another photo of myself. And you can see my shirt actually where it says I've been nice and the presents under the tree. And then I gotta figure out still some stuff going on the back here. I have some more photos that I've like photoshopped and are ready to go. I'm still just deciding my layout. And then another thing that I was debating using for either day 24 or maybe pushing it to day 25 was this transparency here with the Merry word and then this fabric piece kind of stretching along the bottom here. I might stitch it or just adhere it down and then doing another full-size photo on the back. I had originally put that next to this and I was going to cover up the holes with the journaling, and I actually really loved it like this. I'll show you what I originally had planned. I was going to layer the Come On Santa here. I was going to layer my number. And then I have still another good photo that's a scene, and it's hard to tell because I haven't printed it. It's a scene of the tree with the photos, and then you can see the fireplace with the stockings. So I still want to print that out. So I'm still debating Still a little bit if I'm going to go with this, because I really love the way this looks. But I think that this makes more sense as like Santa's here and starting. And then this just makes sense to have a good 7x8 on the back, because it'll really help the colors pop. But as I was rearranging, I really liked this on here. So I don't know yet how I'm gonna do it. So I do need to print that one more photo, make that final decision, and then yeah, decide for sure. And then I'm hoping that the stockings photo on the back would lead into the page that I made from the prep class. So I've been like patiently waiting to use this and finish embellishing and stuff. So I think I'm going to be using this for the start of day 25. And I want to try to figure out some photos of the kids that I can put in here with some journaling. I did not make mine transparent on the back, but thinking about using my gold numbers potentially to really like make them stand out. Like these black and felt numbers like really would stand out, but they also cover a lot of my pink stocking. So I'm not sure because they're huge, but yeah, that's where I'm trying to like lead into with like the stocking photo, and then Christmas Day, which has a photo of the stockings. So getting there. So yeah, just gotta kind of finish planning some things out and see where we end up. I did consider making one of the 3x4 pockets of the transparency see-through and using this and cutting this up. This is just one of those transparencies that gets a little busy for me. But I think if I cut it down into a couple 3x4 cards, it could be really cute. So like in other words, if I put this on the back and then just had like a little bit of that with like an embellishment on here is kind of what I'm thinking, because I like it in a smaller chunk. The problem then of course is that I can't put anything on the back side because it's in reverse. So we'll see. Still kind of thinking some things through and deciding. I also had considered doing that with some of these transparency cards, but cutting them into 3x4 kind of does them a disservice because they're really large font, and it would be more fun to do them in a larger 4x6 pocket like they're meant to be. So let me print out that last photo and get started, but I'm loving how this is coming out. Okay, so the very first thing I decided to do was to go ahead and put down my journaling. I got frustrated because it went down just slightly off. Like my bottom corner was off at the tiniest bit. You can see it there, slightly crooked. Once it's down, there's not, sometimes you can peel it back. This is the only card I had, and I didn't want to have to reprint it digitally. I really like using the ones with the gold foil. It was very minor, but I was trying so hard to be careful and it still went down crooked. So know that this is never perfect, but is what it is. Honestly, you might even be able to barely tell, but for me, I was like, come on. So just getting that smoothed down with my Cricut tool there. Please excuse the crazy hair. I was working on this like really late at night. So just getting it smoothed down there a little bit and getting that finished. I'm going to use my nonstick scissors to trim the sticker all the way around the outside because this is really sticky stuff, and I will kind of skip through most of that and use my quarter power punch to repunch the holes. I generally put a piece of paper behind so it has something to stick to, and works pretty well. So next I'm getting ready to work on adhering this vellum strip from the main kit. Using some double-sided adhesive. I had to grab a new pack there, and I'm just adding it to the back and trimming it off. And then I will just peel off the backing and adhere it right to the photo. What's awesome about this adhesive is that it's slightly translucent basically, so it allows it to still have that vellum effect, but be adhered completely to the photo. So next I decided for the craft heart that I wanted to add it add some dimension by adding some foam tape. So I'm just using my Gina K tape there. I like her stuff, sorry, because it has a lower profile, so it's not too thick. So I've got that added on. Next step is going to be adhering this journaling card and this photo together. I started to add the embellishments and realized I wanted this to be really flat. So I'm going to trim off the bottom of the photo because there's still a little bit of white showing. That way I can align the two bases together because the photo's a little bit taller for some reason. And I used a tiny piece of mint tape here to hold them together until I could grab my larger roll of adhesive. And I'm using just my 2-inch wide scrapbook.com adhesive. It's flatter than redline tape, so it works nice and smooth and has really good adhering capabilities, of course. So I'm using my trimmer there just to trim off that little bit of extra height. I just removed the guard for a moment and got that trimmed down. And off camera, I'm going to attach that photo to the back. I didn't realize I didn't film any of that, but it's just adhering it down. So next I'm getting the embellishments adhered down. I peeled the backing off of that red Christmas Eve chipboard and the puffy Santa. Those were both ready to self-adhere. Adding some 1/8 inch tape to the back of the number in various places, and I decided to do the same thing with the gold cardstock sticker from the advent calendar. Instead of just adhering foam right to the back, I just stuck it down to another piece of paper really quickly so that I could trim it out. I didn't want to take a chance on part of the heart maybe sticking down to the photo if there's pressure applied to it from inside the album. So just doing the same thing there with the foam squares. And this part of the layout's all finished. And here I briefly played with kind of trying to layer these present die cuts, but there's presents in the photo. The size was too large, it just kind of clashed. So I just kind of played around with that for a moment before moving on to the transparency piece here. So I'm going to use 1/2 inch redline tape to adhere the back. If you're ever interested in any of the adhesives, scissors, punches, anything like that, all that stuff is saved in my Amazon profile. I keep 1/8, 1/4, and 1/2 inch in stock at all times for both redline tape and double-sided sticky tape because I use them interchangeably all the time for my needs. So just a heads up on that. So there you can see where I had to trim a little bit off just because it wasn't perfectly straight. And I'm going to peel the backing off of that and get it adhered down. So this is the only adhesive I'm using for the Mary, because the Mary is like translucent and I didn't really have any other adhesives that would work well for that. So just getting that adhered down, smoothed out, and then I'm going to attach the photo to the back off camera as well. I'm not going to use really many adhesives. I'm only going to use adhesive behind that woven tab, and then I'm going to use a tab sticker to help staple them together. But honestly, when you're flipping through the album, it won't make much of a difference. They stay together pretty well. So here I had decided to use a little star on top of the Mary that I found in my stash. I'm just using little tiny foam squares to help pop it up and getting that attached down, playing with some embellishments on top of that photo on the left hand side there. I'm ultimately at this time going to decide not to add anything, but I'll explain more when I go to the live look in just a few moments. So finally getting to that page protector, just flipping around the photo and the journaling card. Cut down a piece of 3x4 transparency from that Believe transparency, and then I'm going to add the Ho 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 die cut to that as well, and I'm happy with how that came out. Okay, friends, we are all done with this set of layouts for the 24th. Really happy with how it came out. So love this. I think it's so fun. Really draws your attention to the title and what's going on in the photo. This is something that is consistent with other days in the album, so I'm happy about that, and it let me tell my story. Love the little linear set of embellishments here, but I also love that there's like a visual triangle of red, red, and red to help draw your eye throughout the page. And we're going to flip over here to the back. I'm still debating. I want to put this Still Merry and Bright right here, but I'm debating if I'm going to put it on anything for day 25, so I haven't attached it yet. I ended up adding this little star on here, and I like how that turned out. Added a Tonight gold tap sticker and used some red line tape on that, so really happy with how that came out. And on the back here, used one of the gold's hearts that said This Tree. Ended up adding a little Believe flag down here, which kind of also goes with the Believe transparency. So real simple with the embellishments, just added the ho ho ho. And then on the back, just added a little bit of a chipboard tree from this set here to help hide the adhesive, because I needed to adhere the ho 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 down. I didn't want to use a staple. So, and then to All Good Night, love how that is. And then we'll lead into day 25. So really pumped with how this is coming along. I'll see you soon for day 25. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.